In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at my top 5 Haslab project ideas for the Star Wars Vintage Collection. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video. Now, as you know, Hasbro will be announcing the next Haslab project for the Vintage Collection sometime in August or September. And in this video, I wanted to go through my top 5 ideas for what it could be. Now, myself and a good buddy of mine have been chatting quite a bit recently about what it might be and also what we would actually like it to be. And we've come up with the following list. But I must stress that these are our ideas and what we would like it to be more than what we actually believe it will end up being. At the end of the day, it could end up being something completely out of left field and it might surprise us all. I would also love to hear your ideas and hopes for what it might be, so please leave those in the comment section below and also leave a like if you do happen to enjoy this video. With all that being said, let's start with number 5 in the list, which is the Mos Eisley Cantina. Now, this is one I'm sure would be a huge favourite with the collectors, me included. I can just picture how they could produce such a highly detailed cantina with the bar, the seating areas, a place for the band and things like that. The issue I have with this being a Haslab project though is that they would need to provide us with lots and lots of figures to go with it. Some from previous lines that have been released and obviously some that have never been released at all. The danger I fear for something like this being a Haslab project would be that Hasbro would then use the crowdfunding model for other highly desirable sets and figures, which we don't really want the Vintage Collection to become. We don't want it to go down that route where we're effectively having to back the creation of new figures that we want. I'm not against the Cantina idea at all. I think it would make an awesome set. It's just the figure side of it that would make it a difficult choice. At number 4, we have the Ghost from the animated series Rebels. Now, this one I think would work from a scale point of view. It's about the correct size for something that Haslab would do. I guess the thing that it doesn't have going for it is that Rebels hasn't really been enjoyed by everyone, I would have to say, so it might be a bit of a tough sell from that point of view. However, from a model point of view, I think it would look great. It really would. I like the overall design of the ship, and I'm sure it would come with lots and lots of features, including the cockpit, the Top Gun turret, and possibly even Ezra's detachable ship that comes out the back of the Ghost. It could also come with the whole crew, meaning they wouldn't take up space in a regular wave of Vintage Collection figures, which might be good for some people. But as I mentioned, this may only appeal to a smaller audience, and for that reason, it's number 4 in my list. Coming in at number 3, we have the Razor Crest. Now, I really do think that this would make a phenomenal Haslab project, do not get me wrong, there is no doubt about that. One thing that doubts me a little is that this ship may be a better bet for the mainstream audience. I could see it doing better on the store shelves, for example. Making this a Haslab project would instantly cut off a large portion of the fans from being able to afford it, but at the same time, if it was to be the next Haslab project, I could see it easily hitting the required number of sales and would no doubt pass further tier levels, unlocking all sorts of extra goodies. I can imagine it being highly detailed version with fully working cockpit, side panel, rear folding door with the carbonite blocks inside. There's no doubt that they would make a really good job if this was a Haslab project. A figure packed inside could be an exclusive carded Beskar Mandalorian, for example. They could even include the child with the cradle pod, and maybe future tier unlocks could include other figures and possibly even extra carbonite blocks to go inside. At number 2 in the list, we have the Tantive IV or Blockade Runner, whichever way you want to call it. And this ship may be a little big in terms of scale, I think, for the Haslab project. At the end of the day, the main area you would want is the internal gleaming white passages made famous by the opening scene of Star Wars and of course in other films such as Revenge of the Sith and obviously that most famous scene in Rogue One where Darth Vader goes mental. So would we want a ship the size of a barge with a removable top so you can look down on the corridor and set up all your Rebel fleet troopers that are just about to get cut down by Lord Vader himself? The answer is yes, but can it be done and still look good in terms of scale? I'm not so sure. The set could come with an exclusive carded Captain Antilles and maybe 4 or 5 Rebel fleet troopers as like a battle pack type thing. And while we're at it, they could give us an updated Princess Leia, which is also badly needed. So as I said, the Tantive IV, I would love it if that was the choice that they made. It's an iconic ship from the original trilogy, but I just don't think I could picture it being done in terms of which part of the ship would we get. Would we get just the internal corridors as like a diorama scene, or would we get a ship as big as the barge, and then we'd have to compromise on the internal scale of the ship? And at number 1 we have the Sandcrawler, and to be honest, this would be my personal choice and also what I feel would be most likely from the list. At the end of the day, it does tick a lot of the boxes. So if you think about original trilogy, check. Rustic large vehicle with lots of detail, check. Instantly recognisable, check. And a workable scale, check. There's lots of things that the Sandcrawler has going for it in terms of a Haslab project. And the more and more I think about it, the more I believe that this could be what it will be. We had the Jawa that was released not so long ago in the Vintage Collection. The Power Droid is being released in August. They could easily reissue R5-D4, no problem at all. R2-D2 could be repainted. We've had C-3PO just reissued as well. So there's a lot of things that point to the Sandcrawler. Is it the most exciting ship? No, but then I would argue that the sail barge isn't the most exciting ship either when you compare it to the Millennium Falcon or an X-Wing or a Snowspeeder, for example, but it is large enough to be a Haslab project. It would no doubt be highly detailed with a cockpit area, removable side panels, and maybe even a ramp at the back, which would reveal the internal areas of the Sandcrawler, revealing the areas where the Jawas keep all the droids and things like that. And of course, it could also have that tube thing that the Jawas use to suck up the droids to get them inside the vehicle. The set could come with the rest of the droid lineup. It could also perhaps give us the carded version of the Death Star droid, which we're so badly missing from the Vintage Collection. Perhaps even a new updated Luke Skywalker, again, something that needs doing. And then if we pass certain tiers, maybe even we could unlock an Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru figure. As I said, to me the Sandcrawler does fit all of the Haslab criteria, but at the end of the day, who knows what will end up being. It's going to be exciting to find out, that's for sure. As I mentioned, it could be something completely unexpected, something that we haven't covered, perhaps something from the Clone Wars, like a giant Republic gunship, something like that. You just never know. But as I said, it's going to be exciting to finally find out what it will be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would be really interested to know your opinions. Thank you all very much for watching once again, and we shall see you on the next one.